It's time for another video. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? Happy Friday. What's going on, friends? What is happening, new friends? Replay viewers, how are you? Hashtag replay, let me know that you're in here. Final thoughts. Wow, what an incredible experience. Before I even go forward, shout out my absolutely incredible coaches, Robert Hollis and Melody Ryba. If you come across this, you have made such an impact on me with sharing what has been a success for you. And what's absolutely incredible about these two people is that they make this available to everyone. They look for success in the success of other people. And I thank you so much for that. And I really appreciate you because this has been an incredible experience for me. Chris, thanks for hopping in here. Dan, my man, what's happening, brother? Thank you for hopping in here. Linda, what's going on? Feeling so good today, man. I mean, got through. For all you that stuck with me through this whole entire process, I just want to put this as a lip out to you. I appreciate every single one of you. For those of you that have reached out to me and said how much this has been such a good thing for you, I appreciate you. You inspired me to go forward and keep going forward with what I'm doing. So, with that being said, I got some big announcements for next week. With the closing of this, I hope for the people that are open, I hope to launch a bigger series of this, more in depth, more in study, because I really truly believe in the principles of this book. And I think the most important part, which I'll get into, is investing in yourself so you can learn, be open to learning, and then teach everybody else, because that's advancement for everybody. And that's success and instilling success in others now. So going forward, Peter Sauer, what's up? What's going on, man? Hope I got that right. So going forward, whole entire review of this book has been absolutely incredible. So the biggest thing for me, I think, is, a big goal for me going towards this year was being comfortable and being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And going forward and going through this book, I really realized that some of the things that I've limited myself to is all have been here. And, with going forward with the book and the right to be rich, just even from the first chapter of starting off, everybody has the right to be rich. And it's not just in the fact of, wealth and riches. It's wealth and everything in your life. It's having the abundance and full and happiness in every single area in your life that can actually go on to everybody else's life. And you could pass that on as well. Like, that's such a huge thing. And the most important part is there's a science to it of getting rich. And Wallace C. Wells says, if you are willing to study this book, many people have studied this book and are absolute successors. I mentioned two of them before, Robert Hollis and Melody Ryba, Dale Carnegie, Bill Gates, the list goes on, Tony Robbins, Eric Worre. There's been so many people that have instilled and utilized this book and instilling the principles to mathematical certainty. Because if you do it to mathematical certainty in a certain way, you're able to provide more for other people and you're able to bring on the riches to yourself. So that's like such a big thing with going with this book. And the way I think I could really relate it, because, I'm going to share with you a little bit about myself. I kind of came in a place where I was so caught up all the time on wanting to be a people pleaser, wanting to please other people, living a caged life. There's two people that I see after going through this book. There's people that are caged and there's people that are taking charge. Which side are you on? Because I was on the cage side. And the cage side is people that are people pleasers. You're worried about what everybody else is going to think. You're in your head. You don't advance. You don't go forward because you're constantly thinking about what is everybody else's image of you. But what if it's not always about you? So that was an area that with going through and instilling the principles of actually finding within yourself something that really gets you amped up, something that gets you up out of bed, and something that is completely instilled in you. Dreaming big, thinking big, wanting to advance not only for yourself, but for everybody else. It's such an important thing. So, yes, absolutely, compared to Think and Grow Rich, actually that's a very good point, Peter Sauer. This book is based on Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill actually read this book, instilled the principles, and got motivated to write that book. Drop a 1 if you want that book, because I have that PDF, and that's a fantastic book as well. So going forward, it's the biggest thing is not living a caged life. When we live the caged life, we may be unhappy with ourselves, but we're not open to changing and not wanting to open our minds to other principles and not wanting to open our minds to some kind of knowledge like this. I mean, there's people that I presented this book to, and it's like they throw a blind eye just because of the title. But the title's so much more than that. So much more. There's so much more to it with thinking. You're in the sense of thinking from your thoughts. Everything is permeated and penetrated within your thoughts, and everything can become from formless substance to becoming into your reality. That's a huge point. It's not about the title. It's more about developing in yourself. Invest in yourself. That's the biggest thing. If you want growth and you want to be someone that's taking charge of your life and not worry about being caged because you're thinking about what everybody else thinks, find some self within you. Dig deep. Dig deep, invest in yourself, because that's the best investment you could ever spend on yourself, is investing within yourself and not being a people pleaser for everybody else. It's all about what is it for you. Because once you have yourself right, everybody else is right. You're able to condone to more people. You're able to do more. You're able to provide value. You're able to drop more things, more knowledge. Learn to teach. You're able to go forward. And that's a huge advancement, I think, for all of us that we can go forward with. Aaron, thank you for hopping in. Jose, what's happening, man? So going forward and going from a life that's not so caged to taking charge. Going from a point where if you dislike the areas that you're in, you need to go forward and change that. If it wasn't working for you before, it's not going to work unless if you apply to yourself and go forward with change. That's the biggest thing, because to keep doing something over and over again, that's insanity. Always step up, step up, step up, step up, step up. Always try to be bigger than who you are right now. Grow out of your area. Grow out of your area because it makes a bigger impact for the world. Complete bigger impact for the world. And that is what's so important. We need to not be afraid of change. I think, not to swing to this, but a lot of things, I think we make up excuses because we think of, politics and government and structural rules keep me impoverished, so therefore I can't go forward and I can't do nothing. When in fact, the government actually entices you to advance and improve yourself. The biggest tax cuts are on people that are in business, that are instilling in themselves and wanting to provide more for other people and provide more opportunities. That's what it's all about. That's what humanity's about. That's what the huge advancement's about. It's going forward and actually instilling now into other people what you're learning, and you can go forward and teach other people to step up, and advance. That's the biggest part of where we are in our world right now that I think we have such issues with. We need to not think about what the structural things, because they're always going to be there. They're always going to be there. It does not matter what the case and scenario is. You need to step up from that. Think out of the box. Think bigger. Think of what you really want. Think of what passion burns inside of you, your core and desire to go forward and do the best that you possibly can. That's what's so big. So, I mean, I honestly, I've been so blessed to go through this book, and this whole entire journey has been absolutely amazing. It's completely opened up my mind to so much more, because there's so much more for all of us. Everything is available for all of us. It's all for use. All for use. Whether you're religious or not, God did not put us here to just suffer. He lives between us. He wants things to be of use to us, so we make it useful for everybody else and providing value for other people. That's the biggest thing. That's absolutely huge. So huge. So I think the biggest part is getting past limiting beliefs. And, the big thing with this book has just been, for me, is just having more faith in yourself. Finding what it is that gets you amped up. Because once you're able to advance, everybody else can advance. Not being a competitive mind. Be creative. The biggest things were created off creation and development. Some of the hugest things. I mean, we look at in a decade where we've come. And that wasn't based off one person. It's being competitive for all. Not competitive for all, being in creation. Not being competitive. Get out of that competitive state of mind. Stop thinking lack. Don't think lack, because there's enough for all of us. There's enough for all of us. So I appreciate every single person that's followed me through this whole entire journey. Appreciate everybody that's been in here and watched. I'll be giving the free ebook copy to everybody for this book, because this book is absolutely, if you just instill the principles within this book, I'm telling you, man, it'll shift your whole life. It'll shift your whole life. This was so good. Appreciate every single one of you. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Do something great for yourself. Always step up, step up, step up. Appreciate everybody. Take care. Have a good one.